Thinking like a fox. Get over it, bro. Yeah, why what's up? Okay. And face chase because you're leaving, right? Mm. Mm. Mm, mm. All right. Okay. Okay. Alrighty then. So far, so good on this short. I do think that eventually tonight that we will see a pullback. We had a massive move this morning, a massive move to the upside. I do expect for there to be a pullback somewhere, sometime today, or potentially going into tomorrow's stream. We do got news tomorrow morning. We have some more employment data coming out tomorrow morning. ADP employment change tomorrow. We didn't necessarily get the reaction that I was looking for with Jolts. Whatever moved the market this morning, it definitely moved it. We had price literally grind to the upside, and the only pullback that we saw was going into lunch, and then we chopped until the close of the session. So we didn't see much movement, and the same thing for the Nasdaq as well. Same thing for the Nasdaq. We're seeing that pullback from the Nasdaq, and we could see a pullback down into S2, or at least retest S2. We got a breakout above 630, so around 635, 650, 630 is where I expect for bulls to try to come back up and step up. But we're definitely bullish overall on both the Nasdaq and the ES. So it's definitely going to be hard to. It's definitely going to be hard to kind of justify staying short because we're so bullish, because we've been so bullish. Bears definitely have it tough. They definitely do. With all this uncertainty from Trump and all these trade deals and Powell unwilling to cut rates and Trump trying to get that tax bill passed. There's definitely been a lot of uncertainty from this market, but the bulls have definitely been stubborn and they've been holding this market hostage. We get a drop, and then as soon as we think that the bears are finally getting something going, the bulls step right back in and says, "Nope, we were not done yet." Mm. So that doesn't look like it's going to be a trend or a really good one. Hmm. And because they broke above it and then they bounced using up all the stops. So I was able to catch this at the bottom. I didn't think that the market was going to shoot up, but I actually took this trade earlier today. And I wish I added more to this because of how well it worked out and how fast it worked out. What I was looking at, because I actually took a gold long at the end of yesterday's session. What I should have did was paid attention to where I should have paid attention to the open, and I may have should have set a limit here at this range, because this is the range where we got that massive drop from gold. And I should have paid attention to it, but when I usually have a green day, what I tend to do is kind of not get into the market. I try not to get back into the market because what I tend to do is become very overconfident and I begin to overtrade. That's a tendency that I tend to do. And there's nothing wrong with overconfidence, but you need to be right. There's definitely nothing wrong with being overconfident about your abilities to trade, but what I should have did or what I should have done was kind of pay attention, because if I paid attention to this range right here, which was, I mean, it's not hidden or anything. It's literally right there. The range is literally right there. I would have been able to catch that short. But honestly, I kind of like I kind of hate when the market does that, when it opens up and the market wants violence as soon as it opens up. I hate that because it becomes challenging to find a follow up trade because the market has already made its move. Now, like I said, I was able to catch this long. I was able to catch it because I took a bet that this was going to be a head and shoulders pattern right here. I only had a few points of drawdown, and this thing just blasted higher. Like I said, I wish I added to this thing. Honestly, what I kind of did here was actually set my limit and forgot it. And when I came back and saw that I was in profit, I was like, "Oh shit! Oh, you missed that long on gold." Huh. Huh. So you missed it. He said you missed a long on gold. You was playing the video game, watching it go up. Hmm. Dang. Yeah, like I said, I just came back to the charts and saw it set up, and I was like, man. So I'll kind of tell you that this is an Apex account that I'm kind of. So I'm trying to get reacquainted with the ES and gold. I'm trying to break all the bad habits that I've learned or that I've acquired trading the NQ. And I told myself that this was a clean setup, a potential right shoulder of a head and shoulders pattern, and I wasn't going to allow fear to take or to convince me not to take this trade. So I just set the limit, walked away, came back, and saw I got paid, and saw that I left a lot of money on the table. And I will say that this will definitely be, I don't want to call this a journey, but a healing process of all the manipulative mind games that the NQ plays. And the stuff that does not work on the NQ or is not consistent on the NQ is probably a better way of saying it. Things that are not consistent on the NQ is what instruments like gold and ES thrive off of. With this ES trade, I mean, honestly, I just saw this range right here. They was having a hard time, and after they swept it and then couldn't hold it, I just went short. And this is the pullback trade as well. So what grabbed my attention was that they broke the trend line, they pull back, and once they pull back, I just set my limit, and it tagged me in, and I've been in this trade ever since. And I will say that I kind of missed the NQ in terms of just the movement, but I'm like I said in this morning stream, I'm no longer going to be gambling. Uh, for whatever reason, I'm super patient in ES. I don't know why. I'm super patient in ES, and I find myself experiencing FOMO with the Nasdaq because at any moment she can randomly see a move, and I want to be a part of that move. But the ES moves at a pace to where I know that it's highly likely that she's going to creep up into supply. She's going to collect all of the limits in that area, and I'll have enough time to make my decision and take advantage of a move. Kind of like what we're seeing here. We talked about 910 being an area last night, and I'm not going to lie. This is actually what kind of motivated this whole fear thing. We talked about 910 being an area where I want to participate with the ES. Not only was that a damn near perfect entry from 910, we had a move going all the way up to 991. So a 81 point move, an 81 point move for my entry. I would have taken profits, obviously, but just being able to trust the levels on the chart and not even I didn't get a piece of this move. I didn't even set a limit here at all. And I should have. I should have done that. But no more. No more. So moving forward, that's I'm gonna just set limits and let the trade play out. This is a good trade. I may or may not leave this. Actually, I will leave this. I will leave these limits here. I'm definitely going to take advantage of Apex. I'm definitely going to take advantage of them allowing me to trade as many contracts as I want. I will set limits, and I will become Apex worst nightmare. They're going to get tired of paying me. They're going to get tired. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm about to run up Apex on the ES and gold. And my goal is actually try to size up with gold as well. But currently, I'm trading 16 contracts. I want to get really comfortable trading up to 30 to 50 contracts with gold. So that's definitely the goal. But as always, the NA meeting levels from last night, uh, I believe both of my long targets got hit. I don't believe my short targets did. I do not believe my short targets got hit, but my long targets definitely got hit on the NASDAQ. Uh, the NASDAQ started off with a 156 point move to the downside, and we saw a rebound of 361 points from the lows. And at the end of the session, the market rejected 124 points going into the close. And it seems like we're going to see maybe a little bit of continuation. Now, what I'm going to be looking for going into tomorrow is a range between, actually, what I'll probably start doing is actually marking the ranges on my chart because I'm no longer going to actively trade the NASDAQ. I was considering just exclusively trading the NA meeting levels and just letting whatever happens happen, but I don't want to get back into doing that. I don't want to get back into trading the Nasdaq, at least not right now. At least not right now. I'm just going to focus on building up my account with gold and ES at the moment. but I'll definitely still share my levels with the NQ. It's just that I just won't be taking them myself. But I will be marking them on my chart. So I'm looking for an area between 795 and 815 on the Nasdaq. 795, 815. We'll see if we get there. 795, 815. And obviously, I'm looking at this area because we got this range right here. And because this is a higher time frame and not a tick chart, the range is not going to be as defined as it would be if I was measuring this on the tick chart. But uh, so I'm looking for that range right there to get a test. And if we can get a breakout above this level, so if we can get the bears or the bulls to break out above this level, we get a nice strong hold, a pullback, and the bulls hold that pullback, we can definitely see a continuation. Definitely. And if we do see a continuation, I have another level going up to about 895 and 895 uh, and 915 is another area that I'm looking at. Okay. All right. So these are definitely going to be the areas that I'm going to be looking for the market to try to come back and trade up into these areas. And for, or I guess I should call these my, well, how would I classify that? Because these are areas of resistance that I'm looking for. And these are the areas of support that I'll be looking for. 495. So about 495. All right. And it's not surprising that S4 lines up with that area. So I'll be looking for that area as well. And I'll be looking for 600 and 610. 610 to about 600. I'll be looking for price to potentially see a bounce in that area right there. 600, 610. And so we'll see. We'll see if the market comes into this area and we see a bounce. Yeah, I mean ES is in the 21Ks now, man. You didn't know? Did you miss the memo? So yeah, those are the areas that I'm going to be looking for with gold, or not gold, with the Nasdaq. All right, so these are the areas I'm going to be looking for tomorrow's price action. So and yeah, I was able to catch that gold long as well. All right, so we're definitely gonna be looking for those areas. And I'm already in this short on the ES already. I'm already in this short. I realize that I am a super bear. Like I've been shorting both the ES and gold. I think I've taken more shorts than longs than anything. Hmm. Gold did fake me out this morning though. Gold definitely faked me out this morning. So this area right here, um, I think this is maybe a teachable moment. Take it for what it is. But I tried to be cute and reduce my size. And I will say this. I will say this. Maybe maybe it was just this instant that maybe it wasn't the right thing to do to reduce or play around with my stop because of we had that big move down and the bulls were trying to buy their way and break structure to the upside. Usually I have a 36 to 45 tick stop and I reduced it down to about I think 2 and gold stopped me out, pushed higher. It looked like it was going short at this double top and short. It stopped me out and I walked away from the chart because I was like, man, this thing is just freaking stopping me out. I come back to the chart and see a long setup, and I was like, you know what? It's crazy that if I just would have stayed in my long, I didn't play with my stop. I would have already gotten my target hit. I would have got all my targets hit actually. I saw the pullback opportunity, and I thought to myself, you know what? Bears are going to knock this thing down. We're super bullish on gold due to all the uncertainty. I'm gonna take this long, and I was able to ride this long until the end of the day. And it just goes to show, like, I mean, if you already got if you have like an ATM strategy, or you already have your reward and your risk already defined, playing around with your risk outside of your plan, it can cost you. It cost me 2 losses when when I should have been just an easy win. So I mean, I kind of I don't want to risk 36 ticks, but because of how volatile it is, I kind of have to, just so I can kind of stay in a trade. But it's saying YouTube is not responding. So I can just trade, but I just hate I don't want to risk 45, 36 ticks on gold. But it just seems like for whatever reason, I'm finding myself in situations like that. So actually, let me check something because it's saying. All right, so maybe it's just OBS just talking shit, but okay. But anyway, I was able to catch this long though. So Alfred, what made you get in long though? I took this long because I saw the potential right shoulder of this head and shoulders pattern form. So I took the long right here where that purple line is, and I instantly got my targets hit and left all this money on the table. I mean, if we see a break of structure here, I'm willing to trade the pullback. If we can see a deep of them holding underneath this EMA and we get a pullback, or not a pullback, a break, I'm willing to sell that pullback. I'm starting to see that the EMAs are starting to flipping to the downside, so it's highly likely that we could see price reject here. And honestly, I wouldn't mind taking that trade. I will take this trade if I see what I need to see. Because that pullback trade is definitely the money trade. And that's the setup that I look for now. I don't look for any other setup. I'm looking for that pullback. Um, it's the money trade. I really don't need all this risk. I have a scale in just in case, price wants to push a little bit higher. I have my size, my initial entry is big enough to where I'm okay if this is the only limit I get filled, but I don't want it to be able to scale in. But if I do get this scale in and price continues to go in my direction, I mean, it just adds on to the position. It also adds to my risk. So I always got to be mindful about when I'm scaling into a position, how much I'm scaling into it, how much risk that I'm adding on to this position. So the good thing about the ES is that uh, if you can get in, if you're in a good spot, I really shouldn't have to get that second target scaled in. And if I'm getting that second target scaled in, I'm gonna have to be very mindful about my bias and what I think is going on. But for the most part, if the ES is kind of overshooting a little bit, and I just kind of got it in a little bit too early, then that scaling will definitely be, I guess, an incentive, I guess, for lack of better words. And then my stop, I can always reduce my stop. Honestly, I can reduce my stop now, to be completely honest. I don't need this big of a stop because once the one thing about the ES is that we know once she forms a double top and we see a break and a rejection, well, if this is a real rejection, price shouldn't go above this high right here above 991. Price shouldn't go above it and hold. If it does come to sweep liquidity, it needs to come right back down. So, uh, and if it pushes higher, then I need to actually think of my exit plan to try to exit with the least amount of loss as possible. All right, so we are seeing the bears kind of step in on gold. I'll just wait for the pullback. That's all we can do. Is wait for the pullback. Mm. That's all we can do is wait for the pullback. Hmm. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the one thing that I will be watching out for is that, yeah, if we get price to kind of break to the downside, we did we we did see this bullish move. So I do think and I do expect that we will see a lot of resistance from the bears here, or from the bulls. We have this big move up higher. We had price breaking the trend line, running stops, and that's usually a sign that the market is obviously once higher. If I look at a higher time frame, we have kind of ran up into this range right here. We are kind of seeing the market react at this range. Yeah, so we are seeing the market react at this range. So this could be a pullback, but we did get a break of structure at around 33.84. So we could see price come back to retest 33.84. It's highly likely that the bulls will probably buy that pullback, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. You said that the stream was freezing for a minute. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's saying that Yeah, that YouTube wasn't responding, and this is the second night that it's done that. I don't know why. So the 15-minute opening range. You said you played the sweep of the low, the 15-minute opening range. Are you talking about on gold? Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Okay. All right, I see what you're talking about. You're talking about this range right here, and you played that sweep underneath this range. Is this the play that you're talking about right here? This play right here. So this is the opening range. You played the sweep underneath it, and so I'm assuming that you caught this move right here. Okay. Mm, okay. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is my favorite part about trading these instruments. I guess slow movement is a double-edged sword, but the ES now moves how the NQ used to move, but it's still adhering to structure. So, but I don't appreciate how slow it's moving now. Are you ready for the wick to go long? How are you enjoying trading gold so far? Are you seeing yourself taking more gold trades now, or is it still about the same? Still trading gold and Nasdaq about the same? Honestly, I could see them try to pull back here. I mean, we did just get a range, a breakout from this range. I could see them come back and try to sell it from there. So this could potentially pull back before actually kind of continuing down on the ES. Hey, yo, what's up, Cave Trader? What's up? I mean, it's a better instrument at nighttime. It really is. Yeah, that's definitely been the trend for sure. mean, I think. I mean, I guess sometimes. I guess. I guess sometimes. Mm. 'Cause if you got that break from gold. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna try that strategy. I'm gonna. So what I just changed in this ATM strategy is my first target is still going to be at 63 ticks for my first target. But what's going to happen moving forward is once it gets past 54 ticks, my stop is going to move to 52. I've been running into situations where, for whatever reason, it misses my target, it pulls back to my break even, and then it hits my target. So what I want to start doing moving forward is I'm gonna still have the 63 ticks, but have my stop come down once price moves past 54 ticks, and then just have my stop trail it. And if given an opportunity to scale back in to the position, I can kind of make more money by doing that and taking advantage of the range, especially if I still believe in my bias. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna test it out. Boy, it would have been nice to have been in that gold short, but we did see a breaker structure to the downside. So now all I have to do now is just wait on that pullback. But the challenge is, we did see this big move higher. We did see the big move higher. We are getting price rejecting. So I will be playing the pullback. I will be playing the pullback here if we get the damn pullback. But if this thing just keeps crashing down, if we see price keeps crashing down and they actually reverse it, then I'll go for the long. But hopefully this thing kind of pulls back before it kind of does that, because I kind of want to be in this short. But obviously at this point, price has moved too far. What I probably should have been paying attention to, and I did, but it just did not. I'm looking for the pullback. I could have traded the breaker structure right here of this range. I could have traded it, but I didn't want to get caught in this thing pulling back, so I didn't take it. But obviously, in hindsight, it would have been the trade to take. Mm. Hmm. All right, so we'll see what happens here. I guess my mom has to accept it first. All right, so we'll let that trade play out. I'll let that play out. Hmm. Oh, well, I guess that was a big move up on gold. So we may not even get a pullback on gold. Yeah, I mean that was a big move. It traded right back into this range, and we saw the rejection. We may not even get a pullback. Uh, hmm, hmm, okay. Well, this thing looks like it just wants to keep pushing to the downside. I don't think we're gonna get a pullback here. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a pullback here. So Mm, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna cancel. Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to cancel those orders. You said GC pulling back to the opening price. Mm. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Gold doesn't play no games. She doesn't wait. She works. She works while the NQ and ES is the price action is being held up. Man, gold's been working, man. Gold has definitely been working. I mean, she's been working and she's a hardworking woman. I'll say that. From the time she's opening, she's moving until the time she closes, she's moving. A whole lot of price action. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I should have taken that. Well, no. No, I'm not going to do that to myself. It would have been nice to have been in that trade, but it didn't fit my plan. So, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get a pullback here. It didn't fit my plan, so I didn't take the trade. I mean, it may appears that does appear that the bulls are trying to kind of buy it right here at this range. That's what it looks like. They're trying to buy it right there, but I won't be buying it there. I won't be buying it there. You say you're not trading your XFA tonight? Yeah, honestly, you made a. Is this the one that you just got paid out from, right? Yeah, I'm honestly, if your gut is telling you to wait and come back, shit, that's what I would do. Euphoria is one hell of a drug, man. Being right and getting paid for being right is one hell of a drug. One hell of a drug. Yeah. Like I said, I'll give this position a chance, but for whatever reason, I feel like I probably won't get that pullback that I'm looking for. I think this is going to probably continue to trend down because we all know that what comes up will definitely come right back down, and it's going to probably be one of those pullbacks. Like probably right here is actually probably but I'm not going to take it this low. I'm not going to take a position that low. This does look like a break and a retest, but I'm not going to take that position. I'm not taking it. But you know what? I'll take it in the sim. I'll take it in the sim. I'll take it in the sim because it does look that way. But this is a sim trade that I'm taking. Kind of want to be very clear about that. And I'll probably start I'll probably start doing that more often. If I see something that doesn't look right, I'll just test it out in the sim. Actually, I'll leave it here. I'll leave that there. I'll leave that there. But I want to be very clear. This is a test trade that I'm taking in the sim. And the reason why I wanted to take the trade is because we got the break, we got the pullback. It's small, but we got a break and we got a pullback. So, and we're getting price trending down after, we're getting price to collapse after we saw this big move up. So we all know that we should see a move equal and then greater. We could probably see a retest of this low and a break of this low back into this channel. So ugh. Hmm, that's interesting. Hmm. Hmm. Actually, I probably could have taken this trade. Now that I'm looking at it, I probably could have, but it hasn't been confirmed. Well, I guess it kind of has been. Kind of has been right there. Mm. See how my ES trade is doing. I mean, I'm not surprised. Oh. Both the Nasdaq and the ES are both at a standstill. Mm. All right, so let's see if we're gonna get this breakout from this trend. Yeah, that's kind of looking like yeah. See if we get a breakout here, but I think this is about to reject. At least it's looking like it. Especially if you get a strong close back into that trend channel. So it looks like we're getting some action on that short. I mean, trading the Golden Sisters overnight is definitely not fun. Okay, so it looking like yeah, yeah, good thing I took this trade in the sim, huh? Mm, mm, fucking these out. 391. Hmm. Yeah, that's definitely correct, Alfred. You definitely can. You definitely cannot. It is not a consistent trade. Chasing gold, 3868. Chasing gold is literally a fool's errand. Chasing gold is definitely a fool's errand. So what? So I'm gonna make the assumption that if you would have held it, it would have been a big loss, huh? Jiznaz says he's looking for longs on gold. Mm. Well, I guess a good question is why. I'm looking for a short. The position that you see on the screen is a test trade. I'm still waiting. It didn't work out, so I might as well just cut it. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for price to come back up here for a retest short. You know, it would be some shit if now that I cut it, it would actually work. Oh yeah. Yeah, it did. We just rejected from higher time frame resistance on gold as well. You have a long bias? Yeah, so if the bulls can hold the pullback at 384, maybe 380, somewhere around here from 380 to 384, 85ish, I do think that the bulls will step up for sure. Do think that the bulls will step up for sure. Or actually, let me rephrase that. It's highly likely that they'll step up and potentially buy that retest of that breaker structure higher. But the breaker structure, yeah, like between 385 to about 380. Yeah. What time did you get into that position? Where exactly did you get in? You said that oh, you're talking about this morning around 1 or 2 p.m. Yeah, I was able to take this trade as well around actually I took this trade around 11:50. Actually, no. Yeah. Yeah, I took this trade around 11:50 and just let it run for the rest of the day. Well, I mean, I'm gonna go back into the sim on this gold play. I'm gonna test this trade out. I'm going back into the sim. I'm gonna test it out because I mean, technically that's the setup. Technically that's the setup for a long, but I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily trust it. So I don't trust it enough to take it in an actual account. But I will try it though. Yeah, Don't you just hate that? Yeah. I'm actually just looking for 82. I'm definitely looking for around 85, 80. This is my setup, so I'm definitely going to take it. But as I said before, I did take this in the sim. Mm. Mm. Okay. Well, looks like Gold likes to be a senior citizen too. All right, so the Golden Girls right now, we're starting to see a little bit of movement with the Golden Girls right now, but man, I think I'm gonna have to be in this position overnight. I don't think the ES is gonna do me a solid here, and I don't think she's gonna do me a solid here, and kind of flush down. Yeah, what's up, Bands? What's up? You know, man, I was talking to my trading partner about this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people that trade the Nasdaq would agree that the markets have just been so uncertain that even in the New York session, we're getting grinding from the Nasdaq and the ES. Oh, I mean, I guess we expect that from the ES, but we don't expect that, or we shouldn't have to deal with that in the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq just grinds and chops, and she leaves no bull or bear behind. She takes everybody's stop, and then she goes in the direction. And if you can catch that directional move, uh, like once that train starts going on the Nasdaq, you'll get put right back into a grinder, and you're going to have to sit and wait while she chops to the right, and then move in the direction that you think that she'll move into. It's very tiring. I will say that it's very tiring. I mean, we're getting some movement in gold. For whatever reason, she felt the need not to scale me in, but that's all right. That's all right, gold. I figured that you'll do that. I'm still waiting for this thing to enter in short on my actual account. But this will be a good test run of this new ATM strategy to see if we can get a pop here, and once I get my stop to pop up, I can kind of add right at my break even, and I can re-add to the position if we do see price go up. My stop can push up, get as much profit as possible, and then just rescale back into the position. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. Yeah, yeah, and it was last year as well. Where the summertime trading the Nasdaq and ES was just, man, you just closed your eyes, you went long, and you made money no matter where you went long at. It just the bears was just getting continuously clapped. It was just clap city for bears. It's still sort of clap city for bears, but bears are going to still be bears. I think that's why we're seeing a lot of this chop because as the bears are trying to sell this, the bulls are still stuck in 2004 or 2004, 2003 mode. They're buying every dip. They're not allowing the bears to complete a rotation down. And by the time the bears are able to get something going, we get a sharp correction. And I'm talking about so sharp that it can slice a thin piece of paper. That's how sharp it is. And then the bulls buy it right back up. And then we're back to grinding and chopping. And if you didn't take your profits in that initial drop, you may not even get that second job because the bears are just going to keep trying to sell it. And then the bears are eventually going to give up and they're going to buy their way out of their position. And the bulls and the bears will become buyers. And then the market would just start to grind higher and grind higher. And that type of price action is just definitely mentally draining. Mentally draining. Yeah, it seemed like you had, if you traded the ES this morning, if you didn't catch this initial move at 3 o'clock in the morning, the only other opportunity to make money today with a pullback was at 9 o'clock during the release of Jolts. I mean, you got this candle right here. It created this range. You had price coming and sweeping the liquidity underneath this range, and then price just continued to grind. You did not, you were not able to get a decent entry. You had to, oh, well, actually, I'll take that back. Now that I'm looking at it, you were given a breakout pullback trade, but man, that would have been a very risky trade. I guess if you put a small stop underneath that, I mean, obviously in hindsight it would have worked, but he did get a small breakout pullback trade. So I'm gonna pull these gold. I'm gonna pull the gold positions off we don't get if I don't get limited in because I think the market is about to just crash out here and break structure to the downside and test those 80 potentially 85 80 area before we see a bounce. And I'm not going to keep those limits. Hey, yo, what's up, game weight? Dude, that feels like deja vu, dude. I feel like you've said that before, Shiznaz. And game weight said the same thing underneath the comments. Uh, I'm the same way. You're not alone in that. You're definitely not alone. I'm always shorting a bear market. We actually just got done talking about that earlier. I'm always shorting. I'm a bear, damn it. I like to short, even if it's the most stressful thing to do in these in the current market conditions. I know the money is on the long side, but I prefer to take the short, damn it. I prefer to take a short. I guess Gold must think that buy limit is my target, so she's playing around with it. She must think that's a target. Yeah, I know, right? It's very interesting to say the least. I feel that all the uncertainty is more towards the uh, small business owners. That's where you'll probably see a lot of the uncertainty is with them. But these bigger, I guess these bigger organizations that are just playing the game to play the game, obviously they're not going to be affected. If worse come to shove, they'll fire a couple of people. They'll let a couple of people go to make their shareholders happy, and life goes on for them. We won't see anything negatively impact these established organizations, but I feel that the uncertainty is more towards these smaller organizations or organizations like your local grocery store or your Walmarts and stores that carries a lot of exported or imported goods. They're going to be the ones that are feeling the uncertainty more than anybody, because all they're going to do is pass the price on to us anyway. Shit, they got to pay 50 cents extra on a product that they usually get for 25. They're going to make us pay 50 for it. So we already know. We should already expect that. And a lot of these brick and mortars are starting to do that, but I know Walmart said something about it's changing policy. I don't know if this has actually happened. Actually, let's just ask. Let's just ask this AI tool and see if Walmart actually did lower their prices or raise their prices. Mm. All right. So according to this tool, and it's crazy that if I probably stayed in my short, mm, because it didn't even touch my stop, it didn't even get close to my stop. If I stayed in this short, I probably would have. But anyway, so it says that Walmart has raised prices, and it seems that in some of their products they've raised 38 to 45%, like on toys, fishing reels, office supplies, etc. And Walmart is claiming that tariffs right now are currently too high. AI never lies, but it hallucinates. AI is definitely a people pleaser. It will give you an answer to please you, and it will say with so much confidence that you're like, if you're not critical of it, you will start to believe the crazy stuff that it could come up with. Uh, the best practice when communicating with AI is asking it a question and citing its sources. I've caught the AI being wrong multiple times, and I had to correct it. And it shamelessly said, "You know what? I apologize. You're right. Let me correct that." Shamelessly. But I mean, how else is it supposed to feel? But it was, I mean, I was like, hold up. I know that shit ain't right. I know it's not right. You're wrong. Oh yeah. Oh, my apologies. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let me correct that. He says AI is testing. I honestly I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if that's actually what it's doing, because if we're not going to sit here and not believe that all AI tools are not secretly funded by the government, and that the government isn't looking closely at this type of information. We're not going to sit here and believe that. And we all know that the government runs on propaganda. We know this. Their main concern is government to govern your mind and to control your behaviors and actions. We all know that that's their goal. So we all know that a lot of this information is biased based on who creates the tool. Obviously, left leaning AI tools are going to give you more left leaning answers. We all know Grok is obviously more neutral, but more to the right. So it's going to give you a different viewpoint than Chat GPT and what's the one, Gemini, with Google or Microsoft or whichever one makes that. So uh, you're definitely going to get biased information, because we got to remember that even though it's magically pulling answers out of its quote unquote robotic ass, it's still it's pulling these answers from a lot of data that it was trained with. And if it was only trained with a certain amount of data, it's not going to be able to answer questions outside of its scope. It's not going to. It's going to reference the data that it's been trained on before it reaches out to external or third party sources for the information. And then it still is going to filter it through the way that it's been programmed to think. So in actuality, AI is basically very human. It is very human. It does exactly, it goes through thinking the same way that humans do. Some humans filter their logic through their emotions. And depending on, like I said, if it's a left leaning organization that creates the AI chat box, well, it's going to filter all of its information through those left leaning filters. So that's why with I think we've ChatGPT has been accused of giving biased information during the election by saying how great Harris was and how horrible Trump is and yada yada blah blah blah. And I think Alexa too. And once that was pointed out and put into the mainstream, they had to go back and fix it. But anybody that understands AI knows that it wouldn't have thought it wouldn't have produced those answers unless those answers were given to it to be produced to you. So they can say, "Oh yeah, that was a mistake." That we all anybody that knows that shit was not no damn mistake. That shit was done purposely. Purposely. So that was a little AI crash course. If you're interacting with ChatGPT, you need to always make sure that it cite its sources and gives you reason for the answers that it gives you, because it will give you answers to please you. It definitely will. So should they know that now? And I mean, honestly, ChatGPT and all these AI tools are definitely going to they're definitely going to affect the people that it needs to affect. There's only a certain amount of people that choose to educate themselves. There's a lot of people that would rather live in their lower selves, in their emotional selves, and never go up that ivory tower. They complain and yell at the people that make that journey. They call them evil. They call them this. They call them that. And in actuality, is just people being comfortable in their lower forms, and they're okay with people telling them what to do, and they're okay with other people thinking for them. And if you can automate that process, having Chat GPT automate the process of telling people that are willing to be told what to do, information that you want them to have without you having to waste energy to do it. I mean, basically, it's just automation. If you really think about it, you create an echo chamber, and people will just start echoing what they want, what their quote unquote masters are telling them to echo. It's just automated at this point. You don't need nobody to do it. You got Chat GPT to do it, or all these AI tools to do it. So okay, well, hmm, you need Duck Duck. So I mean, Grok. I think Grok is probably the least biased AI tool out there. I know tools like Claude, Perplexity are non-biased. I know Perplexity gives real-time, up-to-date information if it's available. It looks for stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Grok is biased with Elon. I mean, shit, why not? Why not? But I think Grok is probably the least biased. I'm not saying that it's 100% correct, but I would assume that it's the least biased AI tool out there. Obviously, ChatGPT is left leaning. Gemini and whatever other AI tool that maybe Google or whomever has come up with are going to be left leaning. I mean, because they have to. Uh, the people that consume their product the most are going to be left leaning. People that I'm not saying that people that are left leaning waste their time, but uh, more people that find themselves on the left side of the spectrum, they tend to be more emotional. They tend to crave affection from other people. Social media has allowed them to be able to connect with other people. And that's usually what you see from people that lean to the left. They're all about caring, love, connections, emotional connections, all that stuff. I'm not saying that that stuff is not necessarily on the right, but people that lean more towards the right spectrum, those are the people that are self driven, self motivated. They want to become entrepreneurs, they want to forge their own path. Uh, Networking is important, but it's not necessarily necessary. And like I said, this is not a catch all be all, but that's usually the personality that you see from people from the left and right. So they're just basically the customer is always right. And if your customer is more left leaning, well shit, why would you spew them with right leaning stuff? They're just going to move somewhere else. So women, children, these are the people that consume their products the most. So they're going to cater to their needs. I mean, that's just basic capitalism at that point. But uh, I mean, so far so good on this test trade. Like I said, I'm going to in the next 4 minutes, I'm going to cut it. I'm not going to allow that to stay overnight because this could be the bears or the bulls trying to regain control of this market. We did get a break of structure down. I wanted to see a quick pullback and a continuation, but because we didn't get that pullback, uh, we kind of got a pullback from this overall move. Well, okay. Well, actually, let's kind of think about this. Let's think about this because now that I'm looking at it, we have a drop, a base, so we could expect another drop here. That's one scenario. What I was looking for was a break of structure down, a pullback, and then they continue the move downward. But if the bulls find support here, well, then we can definitely get a retest potentially of these highs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna kill these. Well, I'm gonna cancel these orders. I don't use that word with all that YouTube crap. I'm gonna cancel these orders. I was looking for a pullback and a continuation, but that it may still work. but I'm not going to have that running overnight. But I will leave my ES trade running overnight. I will leave this running overnight. Mm. You know, Shiznaz, I mean, with gold sometimes, like yesterday, she kind of faked me out doing exactly this. She faked me out right here doing exactly this. And I think because it made it look like we got the break, the pullback was kind of shorted, but then the bulls came back up, they double topped, and then it made it look like, okay, the bears had it, and then anybody that was short right here and had their stop above that high, they got stopped out. And yeah, gold was on one yesterday after making this move right here. It's kind of similar to what we're seeing now. So yeah, gold can kind of be tricky, but the bears are trying. And if the bears kind of give up on this, then we can potentially see price short squeeze back up and test and retest these highs, or maybe the bottom of this range right at 395, 394, 390 to 395 potentially. So bands are in on the gold. Yeah, I mean, if it works, I'm in the sim, so I took this trade in the sim, but ultimately I was looking for a short. Yeah, sovereignty. That's definitely true. Yeah. Honestly, I'll take the trade in the sim. I want to see what happens. The reason why I even took this trade is because even though I didn't necessarily trust it, it pulled back after it broke structure to the upside. So, uh, we had a strong move to the upside. It pulled back, and I took that trade because of it. I don't trust it. I'm not saying that I do, but Uh, normally, this is the trade that I'm looking for, and this is the trade that I usually take on gold instead of trying to find a bottom on gold. I try to let the market tell me what direction it wants to go into, because gold 9 times out of 10 will pull back. 9 times out of 10, gold will pull back. So you're gonna catch trades where it pulls back most of the time, and sometimes it kind of does this where it just goes straight down. And it hurts your feelings because you're like, man, I should have been on this move, but it happens. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm actually starting to do that now too. It used to be that if I saw it set up, regardless how I felt, I would have taken it and taken a loss. But now I'm just going to head to the sim on positions that I'm not 100% sure on, but I still want to take the trade so I don't feel the pain of regret, I guess. But okay, that's it for me. I'm out of time. I'll definitely come back tomorrow morning. This is the trade that I'm actually in. I took this trade because it fit my profile or it fit my setup. I saw the break of structure down, break of a trend line, and I just sold the pullback once I saw that the bears or the bulls were having a hard time getting above these highs. So I sold the pullback here. I do expect to get my targets hit later on tonight. I do have some buy limits down here on ES in this area, particularly because this is where price broke out. So I do expect for the bulls to come back and potentially buy in this area. Oh shit. I just saw it on gold. I got super stopped out. Hmm. I almost made a mistake. I almost made the mistake right there. Oh, actually, I didn't. Okay, never mind. I'm still in this trade. I thought I got stopped out here. Still in this trade. All right, so I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if price comes back into this range and we get a bounce. And if not, I have a second area that I'm looking at for price to, so we can see a reaction going into tomorrow's price action. So, I love my tick charts, gain weight. I don't trade anything other than my tick charts. You can keep your time-based charts. The only time-based charts that I look at is the 30-minute on the Nasdaq and the 18-minute on gold, so I can see what direction the market is going into, so I can filter my trades going in the direction of the trend. So, but all right, we'll definitely come back tomorrow. And he says your gold short was better. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, it's a sim trade. It is no risk on it. So, yeah, I think I probably got stopped out. I probably got stopped out now. Oh, well, okay. Well, honestly, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. So I think I'm gonna keep this size, and I'm gonna keep this. Right now, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this size. A $900 on 27 contracts. That's not bad. Yeah, and I appreciate that, Shiznaz. Appreciate that. But all right, guys, we'll definitely come back tomorrow, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.